Hey guys, I'm just gonna give it 1 minute for everybody to get here, but I'm also gonna go ahead and share my screen already. And if you can, go ahead and log into this Kahoot so we can play and go over for the test on tomorrow. Hey Hannah, go ahead and try to log into Kahoot if you can.
What'd you say?
If you just go ahead and I was just letting you know to log into this Kahoot if you can.
Okay.
Awesome, got one person, two. And yeah, whatever we go over today is some questions that are very similar to the test, so make sure you keep note of what's on here just so you have a better idea what tomorrow, what you need to know. If there's anything throughout the thing, just go ahead and like stop me and I'll explain more if you don't get something. And I can always go into more detail. You know, a minute or two, get some people to get here, and then who else can log in. Just in case, so more people can log in, but I'm just going to go ahead and make a few announcements before we start. That just so y'all know that we have 4 weeks to the end of 9 weeks, and the last day to turn in any missing work for this past 9 weeks is going to be on the 14th, not 14th, sorry, 16th of March at 11:59. So make sure you just keep note of that. Of anything that you don't have turned in yet, you can still turn in, or if you have any questions or want to redo something, just let us know, and anything you need to do, just get it done by then. And then also just a reminder that we don't have any school on Monday, so you don't need to log in or do anything with that. But I don't think we're gonna get anyone else. So let's see. Anyone else want me to hold on for a second? Everybody in that's gonna get in? All right, cool. We'll go ahead and start the game. So what is this called? Color wheel. So one person got color theory. That's basically the idea of the whole thing, but color wheel is the correct answer. And best explanation of that is just remember that that is the color wheel, and the idea of like everything is based off the color wheel. And Hannah's in the lead. All right, next question. Red orange is an example of what? So you see here, red, orange. Should try to help us, yeah. Awesome, got it right. Oh, and Savannah took the lead. Cool. All right, red plus yellow equals what color? Awesome, everybody got that right. Savannah still in the lead. What do you do to make the color darker? And okay, so for this one, shade is whenever you add black to make a color darker. If you do look back at the notes, I believe it should be on there. But just remember that shade is, to get a shade is to make it darker. To do a tint is to add white. This image uses what color scheme? Technically, y'all weren't wrong with warm, but that's not a color scheme. But you're right, it is warm color, so that you didn't get wrong. But remember that for this color scheme, it's whatever colors are next to each other on the color wheel. I should have put a picture of the color wheel on here. But that's how that one is. So, but y'all technically aren't wrong. The orange and red colors are warm colors. So actually you are right for that. And Hannah took the lead. Color scheme, where colors are next to each other on the color wheel. Awesome. Well, that's what I was just saying for the last room where it's secondary, is that like the last room, that how it is the orange colors, the yellow colors, there was like some reds in there. It's the colors that are right next to each other on the color wheel. A secondary is orange, actually is a secondary color. So technically that's not wrong. It's just not the colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. It's not a type of color scheme. And Hannah's still in the lead. Oh, look, now we have a new person. Red and green, what color scheme is this? For seconds. All right, cool. So complementary is right. Secondary again is the colors that two primary colors get to make a secondary. And if I have a picture of, because there is some confusion real quick, I'm just gonna look up a color wheel just so I can show y'all. No, actually I'm on this label. So here we go. So see how red and blue are a primary color. So red and blue mixed together make purple, which is in a secondary color. So same with the orange. Red and yellow are primary colors. So it then does make that orange, which is a secondary color. So those aren't color schemes. Those are just colors that you mix to get the other colors. So again, primary colors, secondary colors, and these tertiary colors, which is the ones that are the primary and the primary and the secondary colors mixed together. It's like a red orange would be a tertiary color. And hopefully that makes more sense. Awesome, cool. Hannah's still in the lead. So again, now what are the primary colors? And I'll go ahead and, let's put one of these up. From this one, what are the primary colors? I should have put a picture here. That's my bad. Cool. This makes sense now. Primary colors. Ooh, Alexa is getting up there. Third place now. So now what are the secondary colors? Awesome. Oh, that's right. Hannah's still in the lead. True or false? 10 is when you add white. Awesome. Got that one right. Hannah's still in the lead. So what are the cool colors? Awesome. All right, so the yellow, red, and orange are actually the warm colors. So for example, back when we had that room that was the orange, yellow, red colors, those are all the warm colors, and these would be the cool. So then what are the warm colors? Awesome. Got that now. Savannah's catching up. So this is an example of what? Cool, got that right. So yeah, this is value for balance. Balance would be more like, for example, that this laser would be balanced because it has the same thing on both sides. So that would be more balanced. However, value is like from getting light to dark. Savannah's coming back, 3 in a row. So this is an example of what? Cool, texture. Yeah, it would do texture. Pattern, I can see why, but just because it did have like more the 3D effect is why I did texture. Pattern, I would just more think of, especially if the question's somewhere on the test, that pattern you might think more like a checkered pattern or a stripe, something like that. Texture, you would think some fuzzy or some like more 3D that you can more feel, or like a snake bag where it has like that rough feeling. Cool. Hannah's still in the lead, but Savannah's still catching up. Repetition and alteration are part of what? If y'all remember that this was one of them on the assignments on the slides. Cool. So again, yeah, rhythm, right? Pattern, again, like I said last time, pattern is again, where it's like the stripes, the plaids, anything like that's more of a pattern compared to the rhythm, which for these, if you remember, refer back to the elements and principles PowerPoint worksheet that y'all did, and it'll be the last slide on there. And those were the two examples. Hannah's still in the lead. This image is a good example of which principle. Pattern, cool. All right, and the other one be form, which I could see why it would be form, because it was like how there was like the tubular form and all of that, which is pretty much what it'd be, because it was like more of a straight. So I could see where the confusion is, but just more because it did have the pattern is why it shows that one. But technically, I can see what you're going for. Cool. Yeah, still in the lead. What body type is this? Cool, everyone got the right hourglass. Savannah's still catching up. Safety, comfort, care are all to be considered when designing buying children's clothes. True or false? Awesome, true. Yeah, I always want to make sure your kids are safe. So you always see there's a lot of things you need to consider whenever you're buying children's clothes. Sure, Frost, you always been, you always need, that's had been need to help people with disabilities to get dressed. Go back and fix that. Right. So it's false. So you have children with disabilities, for example, like if you were in class and we did fashionable, when I was here in high school, I had a little girl that was in a wheelchair. Perfectly fine to get herself dressed. How it was just like maybe she had a little bit issue putting it over, but she was in a wheelchair, but she can still do it by herself. But there is for sure kids or anyone with disabilities that do need help buttoning or zipping because they're not able to actually do it. So like, for example, maybe Velcro would be great for a lot of people with disabilities because it's easier just to stick. Hannah, still in the lead. True or false? You should always fold your cardigans. True. And this one I honestly didn't know either until I first started looking this up. So whenever you hang up your cardigan, it actually stretches it out so it doesn't make it last as long. So it's actually recommended to fold it and put it away that way just so it doesn't stretch out all the fabric while it's hanging on the hanger. Savannah coming up here. Again, true or false? If you get ink on your clothes, you can get it out by cleaning it with vinegar. Awesome, true. Yeah, and Hannah getting up there. Almost done. To remove a mustard stain, you need to do which of the following? Awesome. Run it with water. It was correct. And hot water over the stain. Yeah. So instead of just doing the hot water, which I know is one that it was more difficult because on y'all's assignment, not all of y'all covered the exact same thing. So just keep in mind, like for mustard, you would use cold water and to remove the stain and run it over. So preferably it's probably with most stains, but remember to use cold water to spot treat it rather than letting the stain actually like spread if you're like to put too much water or something. Savannah really catching up over here. True or false? This means hand wash only. So it's actually false. That does mean machine wash. So just keep that in mind whenever you're going on your test. That symbol, which I wish I could go back, is for machine wash. Alexa. So true or false, this symbol means do not steam. So it actually means do not iron. So just keep that in mind, that just because it looks like an ironing thing, which is kind of a trick question, but yeah, it's do not iron. What is upcycling? Awesome, we're getting that right. So the only one is buying new clothes and throwing away the old ones. Nope, that wouldn't be right, because you don't want to get, the whole thing with upcycling is you don't want to add to the waste of the environment. So just throwing away your old clothes wouldn't be ideal. However, if you were instead to donate it or turn a dress into a skirt and a shirt, something like that, where you would wear it different, would be a great way to upcycle. Savannah might catch up. Okay, one more question. Why do you separate light and dark in the wash? So they don't bleed, awesome. And actually, so you don't organize them better could actually work. I was thinking about that, because whenever we do hang up our clothes, color organizing is a way that you could technically go, so it would be helpful. But overall, better answer would be just so your clothes won't bleed. All right, cool. So let's see the final results. So 8 out of 6 is Alexa, Savannah, and pretty sure that's Hannah. Awesome. So yeah, hope y'all sort of enjoyed it. But if y'all have any other questions about the test or something you want me to clarify, if you still don't get, feel free to stay and ask me. I know the Zoom went a little longer than normal, but feel free to stay and ask me. And also, you do have access to the Kahoot by yourself using Schoology, as well as there's a PDF version of the Kahoot and Schoology as well, if for some reason you can't access this one. But if you don't have any questions, you're actually free to go.
Bye. Have a good day.
Bye. Have a good day. Do you have any questions? All right, cool. Well then, bye. Hope you have a great day and good luck on the test.